Walked down the energy drink aisle in 2018 and every single can was built for men. Dark, loud, aggressive. And women were buying those drinks anyway. They just felt like they were shopping from the wrong aisle to do it. Then one brand noticed that gap and completely changed what an energy drink could look like. 6 years later, Alani Nu sold to Celsius for $1.8 billion. In this video, we're breaking down everything from their influencer marketing strategies, their DTC playbook, to the scandals and their retail expansion. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Azra from ZipChat, the AI agent for e-commerce that turns browsers into buyers. And every week on this channel, we break down one successful DTC brand and show you their exact strategies so you can steal it and apply it to your own Shopify store. Before we jump into Alani Nu, please take a moment to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this one. Okay, now that's out of the way, let's jump straight to the video. Before any of this, Katy, Hearn, and her husband Haydn were both into fitness. Katy had been posting her own fitness journey on Instagram since 2018. That was back when women posting their workouts online wasn't really a thing yet. So she got in early, and by the time they launched, she'd built an audience of over 1 million followers and spent years coaching women one-on-one. The husband Haydn, on the other hand, ran a personal training facility. And when you're coaching hundreds of women, one question comes up constantly. What supplements should I take? Katy couldn't answer it because she looked at what was on the market and didn't trust any of it enough to put her own name behind it. And if you ever read the back of a supplement tub, you would know why. 20 ingredients you can pronounce, half of which have no reason to be in there. So that was the moment they decided to build it themselves. Something people could actually understand when they read the label. And the other half of it was packaging. Everything on the shelf was made for men. So they made theirs for women. Soft colors, clean design, a can you would be happy carrying around. So Alani Nu launched in 2018, selling online through their own website. Now, I've been looking for how they funded all this, and there's nothing. No outside investors, no venture capital. Just the money they were already bringing in from their fitness businesses. Now, if you go back to 2018, they didn't really invent any demand. Women were already buying energy drinks. They just didn't trust the label, and nothing on the shelf felt like it was made for them. And there's actual behavioral science behind why the pastel colors they chose worked. It's something called fluency heuristic. Our brains like things that are easy to process. Alani's scans felt familiar to women who already buy skincare or beauty products. So there was no friction. And they pushed us even further with their flavors. Not names like strawberry and blueberry, but Cosmic Stardust and Breezeberry. And how they landed on all of this, the colors, the flavor names, the whole look, is the interesting part. They didn't survey women about what they wanted in an energy drink. They looked at behavior instead. What makes someone stop scrolling? What people actually post on their stories? And this is a great takeaway. Look for those people that are already buying, but from brands that clearly weren't built for them. That's the easiest position to take because the demand is already there. You're just the first one to make those people feel seen. And test that with behavior, not opinions. What people say they want versus what they actually put into their cart are two separate things. Now, the marketing. First and foremost, the thing to understand is they were never really selling an energy drink. They were selling an identity. A pre-workout snack is something that you would often hide in your gym bag. An Alani can is something people wanted to be seen holding. But of course, that doesn't happen on its own. A product doesn't become the thing everyone wants because of pretty packaging. Someone has to make it look like everyone has it. And that's the influencer side. At the beginning, Katy started with her own community. She had spent years building trust with these women, so the first wave of customers already believed her. From there, they went after creators who had already strong female audiences. Not the biggest ones they could afford, the ones whose followers were already who exactly Alani wanted. And they went wide rather than deep. In fact, around 40% of their creator partnerships are with people averaging between 1 and 5,000 views a post. That's tiny. And they're almost certainly not paying most of them cash. That's gifting and affiliate deals, which is how you can work with hundreds of small creators without having a huge budget. So the product doesn't show up in your feed once from this big celebrity. It shows up constantly from people that looks like you. And they keep the same creators posting for months instead of doing like one-off deals. So after a while, it stops reading as an ad and just looks like what that person actually drinks. Then on top of that main thing, they layer famous names. Huge names like Kim Kardashian and Paris Paris Hilton. That's the aspirational layer, but it only works because thousands of normal people were already posting underneath it. And this is another great lesson. When you're picking creators to work with, stop looking at follower counts and start looking at whose audience you're actually renting. A creator with 4,000 of the right followers will outperform a celebrity with 2 million of the wrong ones. And keep them posting over months, because that way you're not buying one post, you're buying the feeling that everyone already has your product. Now, on the website side, they're doing a couple of things that are really worth stealing. First, their loyalty program, and it is built very well. Well, obviously you get points for spending, but you also get points for following them on Instagram, following on TikTok, sharing on X, or leaving a review. They even give you 50 points just for signing up and a discount on your birthday. So they're paying you in points to do the things that grow their brand for free. And they made it a status thing. They have 2 tiers. Alani Insider, and once you spend over $750 a year, you become an Alani A-lister. And the A-listers earn double points on everything. So the more you spend, the faster you earn, which pulls people toward that next tier. Second, bundles are everywhere. Energy drink plus pre-workout, energy drink plus creatine, all discounted as a package. So instead of someone adding one $30 item to their cart, they're checking out with a $60 bundle. Same visitor, double the order value. And third, their product pages don't feel like your product pages. They feel like they're Instagram. Scroll down a flavor page and it's girls at the beach holding a can, girls by the pool. Then over 1,000 reviews with customer photos. And that matters because most brands have a gap there. You see a fun TikTok, you click through, and you land on a white page with a bullet list of ingredients. And that feeling that made you click is instantly gone. Alani doesn't have that gap. What convinced you into clicking on social media is the same thing waiting on the page. And here's a takeaway. Look at how much of their website is built for people who already bought from them. The points, the tiers, none of that is there to win someone over for the first time. It's there to make sure they come back. And that's usually the part most store owners completely skip because everybody is obsessed with getting new traffic. But you already paid to get these people on your store once. So give them a reason to buy from you again instead of paying to find someone new. Now, here's what they did with retail and the order matters. They started online for about 2 years first, building demand. Then in late 2020, they walked into Target with a national launch across 1,800 stores. And Target was the perfect first move because that's exactly where the customers already shops. And shortly after, they were all around the country. And this is where a partner comes in. Remember, Katy and Haydn came from fitness, not manufacturing. So to scale into retail, they brought in a company called Congo Brands, a beverage company that basically handles the hard, unglamorous stuff. Manufacturing, logistics, and getting product onto shelves nationally. They took a majority operational stake, and that's what turned Alani Nu from a website into a brand in 62,000 stores. And the numbers after that got insane. Revenue went from 68 million in 2020 to 228 million in 2021. That's over 300% growth in a single year. Then at the end of 2024, Celsius bought Alani Nu for $1.8 billion, just 6 years from launch. But there is a dark part of the story that you should know because it's connected to everything we just talked about. In late 2025, a 17-year-old girl in Texas died of a heart condition that the medical examiner linked to excessive caffeine. Her family filed a wrongful death lawsuit, saying she'd been drinking at least one Alani Nu per day. And if you look at the back of the cans, one can has 200 milligrams of caffeine. The FDA's recommended limit for teenagers is 100. Texas has also opened an investigation into whether the brand's marketing targets teenagers, and there's a separate class action over their health and ingredient claims. Though none of this has been decided in court yet. But the reason why it matters for you as a merchant is the argument being made. The pastel cans, the candy style flavor names, the TikTok first strategy, the exact things that made this brand $2 billion are now being used as evidence that it appealed to people who shouldn't have been drinking it. So if you're selling something with any type of health or age restriction on it, be careful about who your branding is actually pulling in. And there you have it. That's how you go from a website nobody heard of to a $1.8 billion exit in 6 years. No investors, no new product, no massive ad budget. They just pick the customer everyone else ignored and build a whole brand around her. Now that was it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you got some value out of it, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this one. We literally do this every single week. Now, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys with a brand new brand breakdown next week.